The team I'm watching, we're going to stick in the AFC South because I really think this is one of the most interesting divisions in football. This is a team that just barely missed the playoffs this year, despite having to start a backup quarterback for almost the whole year. Of course, I'm talking about the Indianapolis Colts. There's a lot to be excited about with this team, right? I mean, Shane Steichen did one of the best coaching jobs in the league last year. He showed that he was the offensive mind behind the Eagles very, very clearly, both by the Eagles collapsing when he left and by him taking Gardner Minshew to a play that really should have worked to make the playoffs.
Forgot about that.
And then, I mean, I
forgot the Colts were, if they won that game at home, they were in.
Oh, the Colts were.
I totally forgot about that. And they dropped a wide open pass on 4th and 1.
Yeah. And that was controversial, and that'll be in their minds. But they're going to forget about it, I think, once Anthony Richardson steps back out on the field. He's about to start throwing again, which is good. And, I know that there were some ups and downs when he first played, but he was injured for a lot of those games, and he still showed those flashes that could take over a game. I really think there's a lot to look forward to with him.
Yeah, but Anthony Richardson was drafted to be that super dynamic type of guy that can do special things that not many people can, and bring a certain level, a certain element, a certain different kind of thing to a Colts offense that Gardner Minshew just cannot. And quite frankly, I was super duper impressed. So yeah, most of the league cannot, let alone Gardner Minshew. But I was super impressed that the Colts were 9-8 with Gardner Minshew last year.
Oh yeah, the job by Steichen was phenomenal.
I mean, now you bring in Anthony Richardson, and if he can be like anything close to why you drafted him, why not hope to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, what everyone says about this guy is he works incredibly hard. He's gotten, instead of being thrown to the wolves, he now got some time to sit back, learn, take advantage of all of that. And he showed a lot of those flashes you're talking about, Jack, in those first few games, right? I mean, Paul, you saw all those rushing touchdowns. Some of those deep throws were incredible. Anthony Richardson showed that he potentially has it. It was very different than some of those prospect guys. You never see them put it together. We saw him putting it together in real time, and I think he's going to pick up right where he left off.
He's so physically gifted, and he moves super well for a guy his size and his strength. He has something that not many others do. Do you want to tackle that guy in the open field? Absolutely not.
It's gonna.
I'm excited to watch him play.
It's gonna be really fun to watch how he progresses, because people forget, at least for our channel, Richardson. The Packers and Texans were probably are our biggest fan bases. The Colts were right up there when Richardson was healthy. We were talking a lot about Anthony Richardson. I had him on my fantasy team too. I had a close eye on him. Fun to watch. He got off to a hot start and was kind of right up there with Stroud. Part of me is wondering if, to some degree, we're putting more pressure on Richardson to be good because we saw how good Stroud was, and they were kind of going back and forth during those first few weeks while they played, where you have to remember, Richardson played in 4 games. It feels like he played in more.
Yeah.
But in 2 of those games, he got hurt.
Yeah.
So the sample size is still so small. I'm really excited to see him. I said they're a playoff team, potentially, in my opinion. I can't wait. But we just had such a small sample size of Anthony Richardson where the jury is still completely out. I thought so.
But it did look pretty good.
Oh, it looked great. It looked great. The Rams game, even though they lost that, I just remember a couple of the throws that he made were just, I'm trying to remember which one. Houston, too. I think he just looked unbelievable. Or is that the game he got hurt? That might be the game he got hurt.
That was the game he got hurt. You're thinking of the one before. There was that 60-yard pass that just hit the receiver in both hands.
It was the Rams game was when I was just going, man, this is going to work out. And then he got hurt the following week against the Titans.
There definitely is some pressure, too, for sure, because we saw what CJ Stroud did. And AR was picked, 4th in the draft. He had a great career at Florida. A high pick, serious potential. Colts sniffed the playoffs last year. And I feel like a lot of Colts fans are now probably expecting him to come in and give them a CJ Stroud-like season.
Yeah, a boost, the Stroud boost.
And which is not easy. That's not easy.
No, very few players are able to do that.
Yeah. Especially when being 22 years old, that's impressive.
He also came in last year with, I would say, the largest margin for error allowed of all the top picks. Everyone was saying, he's got all the athletic tools, but just give him a little time because he's raw. I wonder if that timeline, at least amongst the fans,
it's evaporated.
Yeah, at least in the building, I'm sure in Indianapolis, they're going to be lenient, but the fan base is probably a little bit more, and they'll give him time, but there's a little bit more that feeling of, okay, like we can do this now because Minshew got us here. Surely you can do this.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to see how his return from that shoulder injury. Your shoulder, when you're a quarterback and you injure your shoulder, that's a bad spot to get hurt. So we'll see how he comes back. Again, he has a absolute laser for an arm. And I can't wait to watch him. They just tagged Pittman too, so got his number one back. The him and Taylor will be fun. I mean that team is going to be so much fun for all Colts fans to pay attention to and watch throughout the season. High draft pick as well. Shore up that defense, and
it's a good pick, Ziggy. Good pick.
Ooh.